Hi, my name is Elisha Simon. I am a certified Optavia health coach, and I'm super excited that you're watching this video. It means that you've probably received your food, you're ready to get going, you're ready to get started on your health journey and kickstart your health and head in that right direction. So there's so many good benefits that come from having your blood sugar in balance. Not only do you start looking better, but you start feeling better. The inflammation in your body goes away, the bloaty feeling, you have more energy, you start sleeping better. It's really hard to explain like how good you feel until you've actually lived it. So I'm excited to hear your results after this first week. Day 3 or 4, you should start hitting fat burn and getting into that ketosis state, and there's no other way to describe it besides you just feel really good. So I'm just really excited for you. So that big box that came should have a bunch of smaller boxes inside of that. Those are going to be your fuelings. So unless you specifically ordered snacks or flavors of home meals, which are like pre-made lean and green meals, unless you specifically ordered those, then everything in your box should actually just be fuelings. Those are going to be those pre-made meals that you're going to eat 5 times throughout the day. So the program is eating 6 times a day, 5 of those pre-made fuelings, and then the one is the one that you're in charge of making, and that's that lean and green meal. And that's done out of the grocery store basically. So inside that box is those fuelings. There should be 2 big books, and those are your Habits of Health Transformation System. One's got a picture of Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson on the front, and that is more of a resource book with lots of good information in it about all things health. And page 317, it talks about transition. And so it'll walk you through what transition looks like when you get to that point. Also, I'll obviously be there for you. So, but that will give you some deeper understanding into like what you're going to go through with transition. And then the life book is the one that you will do alongside this program. It's the mental work. It's made to take you, like it could take you up to a year to do. You can do it as quickly or slowly as you want. I recommend doing like 10 minutes a day in it if you can, and go through the activities, put pen to paper and actually write down your responses and get clarity on where you're at and what you want. So there's a lot of power that comes with that. The other little book is your guidebook, and this one you're going to be looking at a lot, especially this first week. If you open it up and turn to like page 6, the day before you start the program, you can text Optavia 30 to the number 99,000, so 99,000, and it will, they'll send you text messages for the first 30 days of the program with like healthy tips, healthy reminders. I think that they'll also send you a reminder on the webinars that happen every Wednesday night. So there's 4 components to our program. You get a coach, you have a Facebook, or you have community. So we have our private Facebook group community. If you're not part of that group, let me know so I can get you added. And then we have our webinars every Wednesday night that Optavia does. If you can't get onto those webinars, then go to your podcast channel on your phone and you can type in Optavia Habits of Health and it will pull up all of the past podcasts that are available. So much good information there. I've learned a ton from those, and they're short and sweet to the point that you can listen to them. Like they're about 20-30 minutes long. You can listen to them on your way to work, on your way home from work, while you're getting ready, doing dishes, folding laundry, just mowing the lawn, something like that, just to listen to it and gain some new knowledge, and it will keep your goals and keep you motivated and at the forefront of your mind. So those go alongside of that life book really well. They pair together. And then the 4th component is the fuelings. So you have your coach, you have your Habits of Health Transformation System, you have that community, and then you have the fuelings. So tomorrow when you wake up, you're going to want to eat within the first 30 minutes of waking up. And the reason for that is when you are sleeping, like your blood sugar starts dropping. So if you get up and start eating and getting the digestive system moving, balancing out, stabilizing those blood sugars, you're going to get into fat burn really quick and get everything balanced out. So eat within the first 30 minutes of waking. You're going to eat, it doesn't matter which feeling you choose. So they all have the same blueprint. They're identical. So they're all going to have 11-14 grams of protein, 11-14 grams of carbs, 2 to 3 grams of healthy fat, and then around 110 calories. So if you wanted 5 brownies throughout the day, go for it. More power to you. Or if you just wanted to have all bars throughout the day, easily you can do any of that. They all have the same blueprint. So the shake, the bar, the brownie, the penne pasta, they're all the same. You just want to make sure you're always having 5 and then that 1 lean and green. And so when you have that first feeling, you're gonna go every 2.5 to 3 hours staggered after that. So for me in the morning, I'm not quite as hungry, so I can hit at that 3-hour mark. It's later in the afternoon when I start getting more hungry and more tired, a little bit hangry, that I'll usually bring it up to the 2.5-hour mark. And so just do what works for you. You just want to try and keep them spaced out in that 2.5 to 3-hour window to keep that metabolism burning, the fat burn, to keep the blood sugar balanced, all of that good stuff. And then if there's ever a time that you find maybe you've gone over on the time that you were supposed to eat, so it's been 5 hours and now it's 3 o'clock and you're supposed to eat at 4 o'clock, well, you can do two things. You could either have a bar right then or a fueling right then and then eat again at 4 o'clock, or you could have two fuelings right then and then just adjust your time and eat another 2.5 to 3 hours. So whatever works for you, you just, like I said, 5 fuelings per day. You want to make sure you get all 5. So, and then you're going to be in charge of making one meal. And so that's when you're going to look at this little guidebook. And on page 18, if you open it up, it breaks it down really simply. It's so easy. So you just look at what protein source you're going to have, and it's listed as leanest, leaner, and lean. And so just depending what protein you're going to have, that's the category it's going to be in. So if it's like a super lean meat, 98% lean, fat-free ground turkey, shrimp, white fish, those kind of things, they're in the leanest version. So you'll just have 7 ounces of that. And you always, rule number 1, always, can't stress this enough, always weigh out your meat. Meat shrinks when you cook it, and so you're gonna wanna try and have like 9 ounces raw. It'll cook down to about 7 ounces after it's all cooked and said and done with. And so even with your chicken and stuff, like start out with maybe like an 8 ounce piece, and then it's gonna cook down to 6 ounces. And so you can get adequate enough of protein. I would much rather have you be over on your protein than under on your protein. So if you're going to a restaurant, usually they are not gonna give you enough protein depending where you're going. So I always ask for extra protein. If I'm at a restaurant or like getting a salad or something like that, I'll ask them to double the protein for me. Sometimes they do an extra charge. Like I eat at Cafe Rio or Costa Vida a lot. It's only 2 ounces of chicken in that salad. So if I'm asking for double it, that's only 4 ounces. And you'll notice chicken is in the leaner category, so you need 6 ounces of that. So I'm gonna have to make up for that somewhere later in the day. So there's also a vegetarian guide that you can download. And so that will help too. Like if you're ever in that situation where you need extra protein and you just want easy protein, you could get that vegetarian guide, and it'll have ideas for you like cottage cheese, string cheese, Greek yogurt. There's a whole list of different items that you can have that aren't meat. So, and then like if you're at a steakhouse or something like that, so in the lean category, steak is a higher fat protein source. So you're gonna have only 5 ounces and you get no healthy servings of fat. Well, if you're at a steak place, they usually only serve it in like a 6 ounce or an 8 ounce size. I would recommend getting 8 ounces because by the time it's cooked, brought to you, it's gonna be on that 6 ounce area. So you're gonna be over an ounce in what you need, but like I said, I would much rather have you have more protein than be under in your protein. If you flip the page over, it has all the vegetables listed out. You're gonna want 3 servings of vegetables every time. So it doesn't matter what category they're in, you just wanna make sure you're having 3 servings. So if you were having steak for dinner, you could have like asparagus, lettuce, tomatoes. So you'd have a salad and some asparagus or whatever. You just wanna make sure you're having 3, and then just depending which category they're in, that's where the serving size is gonna be. There is also a vegetable conversion chart that you can download and print out, and that it's hard to jam like broccoli florets into a measuring cup. So if you prefer to like weigh it out, you can use that conversion chart, and that will tell you how much it should weigh on your scale. And then the other big thing is that you're gonna wanna pay attention to is on the protein, it will tell you, okay, you're gonna have 2 healthy fats, 1 healthy fat. If it's in that 5 ounce category, you're not gonna have any healthy fat because like steak, salmon, pork chops, all of those are higher fat protein sources. So you're getting your fat from your meat. But you wanna make sure that you're paying attention and getting those fat grams in, because otherwise you're gonna be severely under on your calories and your fat for the day. And that all adds up in the end. So if you were to be making banana bread or something, like this is kind of how I think about it. If you're making banana bread, you're measuring everything out, and then at the very end, you're just kind of like, oh, I'll just put some oil in there. Well, you throw it in the oven, you pull it out, you're not really sure what you're gonna get because it's either gonna be a soupy mess, it's gonna be a hockey puck. You don't really know what you're gonna get. So it's so important to weigh out your meat, to measure it, like get the correct amounts of vegetables, and to make sure you're getting your healthy fat. Otherwise, I can't guarantee your results. Women will lose an average of 6 to 12 pounds per month on the program. Men will lose an average of 12 to 15 pounds per month. But if you're not getting the adequate amounts of calories, macros, the fat, protein, carbs, then I can't guarantee the results. This program is so scientifically ratioed as a 40-30-30 split. And if you're not getting the correct amounts of everything, then those results aren't guaranteed. So that's why it's so important that we weigh them out and measure everything out so that you know that you're getting the right amounts of things. So there is, if you flip the page over, it talks about an optional snack. So a snack has got to be 7 carbs or less and 50 calories or less. A low-fat string cheese will fit into those categories. And on that first week when you're hungry, that string cheese will really help you be a good pick-me-up. The snack is optional, you don't have to have it, as well as condiments. You get 3 condiments per day, and they're all optional. You don't have to have it. Some that I use frequently would be like whipped cream on my brownie or my cookie, sugar-free coffee creamer, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I put that in my shake in the morning. It makes it a lot more thick and rich. I like it. So, but you got to make sure it's an unsweetened almond milk. So there is, for good resources, there's the vegetable conversion chart. There's the vegetarian guide. There's a condiment list that gives you a lot more options to choose from. There's a fat list, and I believe the condiment and the fat list are together, but instead of just like, 5 options here of what you can use as a healthy fat, there's an actual fat list that you can use. So I would download those, print them out, and then just keep them in this little guidebook for yourself. Another thing I always do will just like write on the top, well, here's what I'm gonna do for a healthy fat salad dressing. It's gotta be in these parameters, or the condiment needs to be a carb or less and 30 calories or less, and I just write it big on the top so I'm not searching for it, it's just easy to see. And then with the lean and green, it can be eaten any time of the day. There's not any it doesn't have to be eaten for dinner, it doesn't have to be eaten early or late, it's just whatever works for you. And say you're gonna go out with friends and you wanna go to lunch and you wanna have half your lean and green at that time, you can totally split that meal up. Or if it feels like it's too much at one time, you can split it up throughout the day and have half earlier in the day and half later in the day. You just always wanna make sure that you're still getting all 5 fuelings if you're gonna split it up. So you compare one of the fuelings with a lean and green with one of your halves, or you can just fit that other fueling in somewhere throughout the day. Just make sure you're getting the 5 and the 1 full lean and green all weighed out. And then after 9 o'clock, our bodies start releasing melatonin at night, and it starts slowing down our blood sugar. So if you find that you've eaten, say, at 9 o'clock and you're still awake at 11 o'clock, which is 2 hours later, nutrition support would tell you that you're going to want to continue to fuel your body. So if you ate at 9, the rule of thumb is eat every 2 hours that you're still awake after that. So if you're awake at 11 o'clock, you're gonna have another fueling. So you might have 6 fuelings in one day. Or if you're still awake, it's like a late weekend, you're having fun, and you're still awake and it's 1 o'clock, have another fueling. We just don't want you to go to bed and have that blood sugar all thrown off, because then you're gonna wake up really hungry and it's gonna be all night long trying to stabilize itself. And so the point of this is we wanna balance the blood sugar so that we have side effect of weight loss and increased energy. So to eat late at night like that, it's not gonna throw you off. Having an extra fueling is not gonna throw you out of fat burn. We're perfectly balanced. The old myth of don't eat after 6 or after 7, whatever you've heard, it's completely an old myth. These fuelings are small, perfectly balanced, so it's not gonna make your body hold on to weight at all. And in fact, it would be more the opposite. If you're not getting enough, then your body goes into more of a starvation mode and wants to hold on to things. So to keep everything balanced and stabilized, that's why we suggest every 2 hours after 9 o'clock to continue to eat if you're awake. My firemen, police officers, nurses that have these crazy schedules, they will continue to eat all night long. And technically they could even fit in another lean and green if they wanted to. For most of us, a fueling is a lot easier to do. So another big thing on the program, mine's empty, but is tracking your water. You want to find some kind of water bottle that you can track how much water you're getting throughout the day. You want to make sure it's in the 80 to 100 ounce range. water is the highway to health. So there's only two ways for fat to leave your body. It's through your sweat or through your urination. And so when your body gets into fat burn and you're starting to like shed that fat out of your system, water is really going to help hydrate you and also just flush out that fat. So 80 to 100 ounces is where you want to aim. As long as your urine is clear, you're hydrated. That's great too. But for me, like, it's usually in that 100-ounce area. And then you're going to also want to make sure that you're getting electrolytes in. So our food is low in sodium, and in that first week, it's really common to experience headaches, lightheadedness, some dizziness, and it's not food related. It is electrolyte imbalance. So with your system trying to stabilize and almost like detox, basically, your body's getting rid of all the extra carbs and sugars, it's really common to have that happen. So I recommend getting some Propel. They have them in packets, or you can go get the bottles that are already done for you with the Propel in it. Powerade Zero is another good choice, and I think they even have the squeezy bottles that you can use. But having 1 to 2 packets that first week, and then after that, like 1 packet or so, you can have up to 4. It helps not only like make your water taste better, but it also will help with all that electrolyte imbalance and make you feel better too. And then I mentioned with the, oh, not the condiment, sorry, we already talked about that. So with your water as well, like, so some of the condiments I use, I told you, were sugar-free, creamer, and all of those things. But if you're drinking coffee or Diet Coke or green tea, those all have caffeine in them, and those are natural diuretics. So those are not going to count towards your water. You want to make sure that you're getting water, either just straight water or Propel water, and those will count towards your water. LaCroix, sparkling water, none of that is going to count towards your water. You can still have it, and you can have diet sodas. Just make sure that they all say zeros on the calories, the carbs, and then keep your caffeine level at like 260 milligrams per day, because it is a diuretic. So overall, you're going to want to make sure that you wake up, eat within the first 30 minutes of waking. You're going to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. You're going to have 5 feelings per day, 1 lean and green. Make sure that you're measuring and weighing out that lean and green and getting the correct amounts of protein, vegetables, and fats according to the guidebook. And then make sure you get your water in, 80 to 100 ounces. And then as far as exercise, the lazier you are, the better this program works. We're just trying to balance that blood sugar. If you start exercising, you'll actually drop your blood sugar. So just keep it really light, go for walks. Just enjoy this time to focus on your nutrition and get everything on point. So when you do want to start working out again, then you'll have all the extra weight off and things will just look so much different. Muscles will start popping out. It'll just be so much different. And then the other big thing that you're going to want to make sure you get done before you start the program is to get your before photos. I know nobody wants to do those. I don't want to do those. Like, it's not fun, but take it with clothes that you feel comfortable in. As far as like, if you want to wear a shirt, make sure it's really form-fitting. If you're comfortable with like a sports bra or a swimsuit, men, like just no shirt at all, just keep it really form-fitting so you can see all the bulges and the rolls, because those are going to go away and we want to see that. And also the inflammation in the body. When I first did this program, the biggest thing I noticed was my upper chest and like my upper abs. I carried so much inflammation there and on my face, and that's where I can see it first when I start slowly gaining or when I haven't eaten so great. So you'll notice in these pictures, even after a few days, like the differences that you're going to feel and see. So just take it with whatever you feel comfortable in, but try and get something super form-fitting, or obviously don't be naked, but less is more. So, and then I've seen arms up, I've seen them up here, I've seen them on the side, whatever you want to do, just do it so it looks good, and try and do like a clear or a plain background so that you can really see those changes. And then each time you take those photos, if you can wear the same clothes, those look even better so you can see. And then measurements are also a big thing. You want to make sure, I should have sent you a chart. If I didn't, let me know and I'll send that to you. But like, it'll give you all the areas that you should measure, and then write those measurements down somewhere safe. For me, I've had so many people that do their measurements and then they say, I can't find them, Alicia. So in the back of your guidebook is a journal. If I can find it, here it is. So there's a journal in the very back, and you can use this to track your water and your feelings for like the first few weeks, first month, I believe. And then there's a space right here, and it's a good place to write those measurements. So you're not as likely to lose those. So for sure get those, hop on the scale. I recommend only measuring, weighing, and taking photos once a week. Pick a day that works the best for you. And usually in the morning is the better time. That's when we're the skinniest. So, or if you want to do it, if you're going to do them at night, then just make sure you're doing it every time at night. So I'm super, super excited. There is no stupid questions when you're beginning. Oh, there's no stupid questions ever, but when you're beginning, you're going to have a lot of questions and you're going to feel like you're overwhelming your coach. You're not. So just ask as many questions as you need. The more questions you ask, the more successful you're going to be. And it's going to help you in the long run to make sure that you know you're doing the program correctly and you're going to continue to see the results that you want to see. So I've heard it all, everything down to TMI and constipation and all those kind of things. So there is no stupid question. Reach out if you have questions, and I'm super, super excited for you to begin. And I am excited to hear your results, what you've learned, what you're gaining as you go along the way. There's so much of this that's so much more than just aesthetics. So I am super excited for you, and good luck.